This year is the beginning of the end of the world. This is the year. It was supposed to take place back in 2012, which the Mayans had predicted long time ago. The difference was that the takeover back in 2012 was from a different perspective. Let me back up. This particular simulation that you live in is ran by a tyrannical, evil, godless entity that has decided that it is God and has enslaved and created a system that has enslaved every single being within it. Everything within this system is used to control you. Control what you worship, control what you think, control how you feel, and control what you do. And you are taught from a very early age that you are controlled. This entity, what you call the devil, or it's in Mary Magdalene's teachings, the demiurge. This entity is an entity. It's an energy. Is it in a form? Yes. Is it in multiple forms? Yes. And these individuals are using tactics to keep you enslaved, but also in 2012, when they wanted to go under the one world order, one world government, they were going to collapse everything, depopulate the population to make it smaller so it was easier to control, and they were going to control everything from a much harsher, much harder tyrannical space. It was going to be worse than Hitler. I mean, way worse. But that failed. They were stopped. Why were they stopped? Because a new way was found, a new solution. Because when God created the universe, God didn't actually create it. God is just the energy that's within everything. Does God take on a form sometimes? Yes. Ask Moses. Yes. If you want God to take on a form or help you, you just ask for God to help you. But God is hands off. God is playing a video game. This is just an experience to God. God created the two entities from itself, the right and the left hand of God, that created the universe. These are the two greater minds that I talk about. These minds started thinking. They're the core belief systems. They created all the dimensions. They created all the simulations. They created the universe. God is hands off, but still connected. But then the fragments, which are humans in this particular simulation, are a fragment of these entities. This particular simulation was taken over by a very evil entity. It enslaved everyone and everything, and it controls everyone and everything. Even though you think you've exited from the system, you have not. That's the entity and the entities that wanted to collapse everything in 2012. They tried again in 2015 under the One World Order agenda, but that was stopped again. So here we go, 2025. That agenda is back on the table. They are really pushing for that agenda to have the One World Order, One World Government under their control. They want to be the ones to depopulate everything and a select group of people control everything. They do not want anyone to be a free thinker, anyone to be out of the system. The select group of people want to control everybody else. They want you to stay a slave. The reason why their agenda was crushed in 2012 and 2015, and it will be this year as well, is because these entities that want to play God do not understand that they are not God, that they do not have power and control over people. They may temporarily because people allow it, but what's happening is that's crumbling. Why? Because people are starting to wake up. You are starting to regain control of your body, of your emotions, and of your mind, your subconscious mind. And once you start regaining control of yourself, then you start pulling energy from these individuals in this system. And that's going to collapse the system, the old system. The old system that was created to enslave you, which is rooted in the monetary, which was rooted in the money, which is an overtaking of the imagination, of the I am, of the creativity of individuals who are from the light, who have the light, who are in creator mode. And it starts when you're a kid. They take these children and they siphon off their abilities and their energy. And then they use it for their own purposes to control and manipulate, because these energies that control and manipulate are godless. They have disconnected from God. They are empty holes. They are voids. And they need an empath. It's a narcissist empath. It's a predator prey. A predator does not stop preying on their prey because they have no reason to, and they need that energy. A predator, a narcissist must find an empath. It must find a weaker individual or an individual that has light energy so that it can control and siphon it. Otherwise, it cannot survive. And once you have, for those of you that are in this dynamic or were in this dynamic, once you pulled your energy away and you cut these people off, you started disempowering them. You started disempowering the system, which is going to eventually collapse it altogether. Money, education, health, government, corporations, all of it. Because it was built on other people's energy and abilities. And those abilities were stolen, those psychic abilities. But that's the shift. That's why we are going into this year, 2025, we are going to collapse the system. And those individuals that did this, that did these, are getting all of their karma back. And they are going to feel the pain and the suffering, and they are going to go through everything that they did to their prey. The other thing that's going to happen is the material plane is going to, the veil is what they call it. It's going to start to fall, meaning you're going to start those, not everybody, but you're going to start seeing the particles. You're going to start seeing it for what it is. You're going to start seeing a massive increase in people's abilities to move matter, to shift things, to be, because you're going to be in your own energy with your own abilities, and therefore you are in control. Not the system in control of you, you are in control of you, therefore you control your reality. So the things that are going to collapse, and the people that are so attached to things, to material things, they are not going to do well in the collapse, because they are dead set and stuck in the unconscious mindset. And we're going to run two different realities for a while, two different levels of chaos. A level of chaos where it's murder and war and calamity and tragedy. And then for those of us that are in the other level of chaos, it's going to be calm, change, evolution, growth, because you have done the work and you know it's you. It's not outside of you. So as this stuff starts to fall away, all of the material things, and you start to lose all of them, you will gain more of a sense of peace, or you should. Because you'll start to realize, I never needed those things in the first place. They're just things. I was the most important tool. I was the most important thing. And those energies needed me, not the stuff. And I don't need the stuff, and I can rebuild. Those are going to be the two parallel universes that are going to be running at the same time here. And it's going to be very weird for a while. Because some people are going to be in beautiful heaven. And some people are going to be in hell. And this is by choice. This is a choice. It's not your job to save these people. What's your job is to continue to pull your energy back into yourself and remember who you are, the God within. And let this other stuff go. And it's going to be years. It's going to be years of this stuff until 10, 15, 20 years from now, we have heaven on earth versus hell. Because the energies or the energy that created the enslavement system will collapse. It will fall. It will be dismantled. It is already being dismantled in the ethers, which is where everything starts. It starts in the energy. It doesn't start in the material. The material is the last piece of the manifestation. You are doing it because you're doing the healing work. You're healing the traumas. You're removing and changing the energy with the trauma. You're making yourself stronger, and you're starting to be more positive and look at things from a different lens, a different perspective. Therefore, you're not a part of the old system, the old lies, the old manipulation, the old twisted, the negativity. So you have to focus on that. You have to focus on that light, that higher self, that greater self, that better self. It's hard because you do get pulled and sucked back into the negativity. But that's where we're headed. That's why this time around, this year, it starts. But it is not going to be the collapse that those individuals who wanted to play God and the one world order, they're not going to win this time. It's not their collapse. Because the rug has been pulled out from underneath them. They are being disempowered, and they will be disempowered here in the material realm. Because what is above will be below as well. So as you pull your energy back into yourself, it takes away from that narcissist. It takes away from that evil energy. This is how I dismantle a narcissist when I'm dealing with them face to face. Is I anchor inside of myself, and I go still and stoic, and it makes them very uncomfortable because I am centered in love and God, and they're godless, and they can't stand it because they can't attack me because there's nothing there to attack, and I see right through their lies and their illusion and their bullshit. And they have two choices. They either change their ways and become better, or they'll no longer exist. Because we're not living in the old anymore. This is the year where everything begins to collapse. Everything. So if you are still stuck to things and people, be prepared to lose it and understand why you're losing it. Because you strip away the illusion, the outside, you understand that it is just you and God, and you are God, and God is working through you. And then you start to use that energy to dissolve the lies. That's the illusion, to dissolve the walls, to dissolve the armor and everything else that you have around you. And then we will start connecting with each other, working with each other, and start taking this down bigger and bigger and bigger in the material realm. Great job. Great job. We did it. I mean, this is the beginning. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. It's going to suck sometimes. But when we come together and work together with our abilities, our psychic abilities, and our talents, we will win in numbers. This is why Jesus lost, because he did it himself, and everyone that was around him couldn't do what he could do. They couldn't see what he could see. We learned from that experience. This is why so many people are awake, and they're awake to their abilities. And it's only a matter of time. Tick tock, where us individuals that have abilities come together, work together, and create massive change for the better. To set people free to be you, to live and exist the way you want to without somebody telling you how to, or who you should be, or why. Playing God over you is over. That's what these entities that are trying to do this one world order agenda doesn't understand. They're not God. They've been outsmarted. They've been outplayed, because while they were trying to push their agenda and play God, those of us that do have power went right around them and disempowered them. Watched every single move they made and incorporated it into our arsenalry. Went in through the back door. Now I have the keys. Now it's just a matter of time. Anyway, keep doing the work. You're doing great. I love you. Have a great day. Bye.